looking at example 1, we're interested in finding the average value of the function 4x minus 7 from the interval a is equal to negative 2 and b is equal to 3. So from negative 2 to 3. All right. So let's use our average value formula. All right. We're going to start with 1 over b minus a. Okay. So we have 1 over the b term, which is 3, minus the a term, which is negative 2. And yes, you can go right to 1/5. You don't have to write this out in that regard. You can go right to 1/5 as your coefficient. That's totally fine. You just want to make sure that you have the coefficient. As long as you got the 1/5 or some equivalent version of that out front of your integral, you're in good shape. All right? So our integral from negative 2 to 3, and then our function, which is 4x minus 7 dx. Okay. Now the coefficient is just going to relax out front until the very end, and ultimately we're just using the fundamental theorem of calculus to find the value of that definite integral. All right. So that means we have to take our antiderivative. So antiderivative of 4x is 2x squared, and the antiderivative of 7 is 7x, and that's being evaluated from negative 2 to 3. And again, we just have this 1/5 that's just hanging out front. No big rush. We'll deal with that at the end. Right. So 2x squared minus 7x, we're going to plug 3 in first, and then we're going to plug negative 2 in second. All right, subtraction in between. We're finding the difference of those two values. All right. So when we plug in the 3, again, we have 1/5 out front. All right, so I've got 2 times 9, that's a 9 right there, minus 7 times 3, and now minus, we're going to close that up. And now we're going to plug in negative 2, so that's 2 times 4, and then minus 7 times negative 2. All right, and the whole thing is being multiplied by 1/5. So 18 minus 21, and then we're subtracting, and then we have 8 minus negative 14. All right, and again, 1/5 around the whole thing. Okay. So 18 minus 21 is negative 3. 8 minus 14, negative 14 is going to be 22. So we have negative 3 minus 22. And again, we want 1/5 of that. So we have 1/5 of negative 25. So lo and behold, our answer is the average value of that function is going to be negative 5. And you can actually double check this on your graphic calculator. If you take a moment, pull out the machine, and literally type in 1/5, and then the integral from negative 2 to 3 using that math9 command, and your integrand dx, and hit enter, it's going to pop out negative 5, or at least it should, which would verify what's going on. You want to be ready to do these both with or without a calculator. We'll get to a calculator-specific one when we roll around to example number 5.